There was an unwritten rule at this school. On their first day, all new students had to pull down their pants and pay respect to the seniors. Only after getting a stamp on their buttocks would they have shown proper reverence. But Rankadas refused to follow the tradition. The seniors, seeing such a stubborn freshman for the first time, immediately surrounded him to teach him a lesson. However, Rankadas quickly slipped away and ran into his dorm room while they were distracted. This infuriated the senior. He chased him to the door, banging on it and threatening that if Rankadas did not open up, he would pee outside his door every single day. The commotion instantly drew a crowd of students. Inside the room, Rankadas suddenly came up with an idea. He pulled down the wires from a hanging lamp, switched off the main power, and attached the live wire to a metal spoon. After preparing everything, he quietly slid the spoon under the door. As the senior pulled down his pants, a sharp scream instantly echoed across the entire campus. On his very first day, Rankadas had humbled the senior and broken the tradition set by the seniors. Continuing from the last part, after witnessing Joy being lectured by the dean, Rankadas picked up Joy's unfinished project. He understood that the invention had value. He decided to help Joy complete it. Joy's design was actually quite well developed. With only a few modifications, it could take flight. After some time working on improvements, Rankadas finally solved the flight issue and got the aircraft airborne again. He maneuvered it to Joy's window, hoping to surprise him, only to find that Joy had ended his life inside his dorm. Several students rushed frantically to the dorm, but it was already too late. At Joy's funeral, Rankadas pointed the finger at the dean. Although the police ruled Joy's death a suicide, the medical report stated that the cause was excessive pressure on the jugular vein. No one really knew how much psychological pressure he had endured over those 4 years. If there were a machine that could measure mental stress, everyone would understand that the dean was responsible for this tragedy. But the dean dismissed the idea. He believed his educational methods were flawless. It was precisely because of his approach, he argued, that the school had risen from 28th in the national rankings to first place. Rankadas responded with a cold laugh. Such rankings were meaningless. Students only cared about grades, jobs, and studying abroad. The school only taught how to score high but had not produced a single true engineer. Hearing this, the dean flew into a rage. He grabbed Rankadas and dragged him to the largest lecture hall in the engineering college. In front of all the students, he intended to make this arrogant young man teach a class himself, hoping to publicly humiliate him. But Rankadas remained completely calm. Unhurriedly, he picked up a book, flipped through it thoughtfully, then wrote 2 made-up words on the blackboard. He challenged everyone to define them within 30 seconds, turning it into a race. Instantly, the whole classroom fell into chaos. Everyone scrambled frantically, searching through their books. The dean, who did not have a book with him, even snatched one from a student nearby. But after 30 seconds, no one had found the answer. Rankadas pointed out, from the moment he posed the question, everyone had gotten caught up in a mad race. They were only focused on finding the answer. Not a single person felt the joy of learning something new. This was supposed to be a university that educates people, not a pressure cooker that creates stress.